Alrighty. Welcome, everyone that's here. And let's get started. There we go. Alright, so whole new rule set came out. They are now allowing the Treasures of Ruin in Ranked. So that does change things up a bit. I did do quite a bit of research into teams and builds and things like that. But some of the Pokemon that we used before are going to be coming back. And I don't really change EVs too much if I can help it. So there are a lot of familiar faces. One team that I did see that I built was again from OliviaSama. And I have that linked below. And I also have her original video, her channel, and the original team that she used. And then I also have my team that I'm using, the actual team that I'm using, and what the differences are. I don't have a rental team set up at all. I just have the breakdown of the team. So if you're curious what I'm running, it's down there in the description. So let's see what we got from last season, all the way up to Great Ball Tier Rank 8. Alright, ooh, good amount of LP. I don't know what TM 171 is. Bottle cap and an ability capsule. Oh boy. Alright, and we got pushed back down to rank 6. No worries. But anyway, here's the team here. There are some slight differences, like I said, but for the most part, it is the same basic team. And then I did build a second team that is entirely my own creation. It's only the difference of 2 Pokemon, but I did build it myself. So, all right, let's go ahead and go in with our first team here. The biggest idea behind this team is kind of a stall team. Back in Generation 5 and 6, when I did competitive, I really enjoyed kind of bulky, tanky, stally kind of strategies. It's really forgiving for beginners because you can make mistakes during your turn and recover from them pretty easily. The biggest downside to them, of course, is you don't have a whole lot of damage. Typically. Alright. So, looks like our opponent is going for a snow team. Most definitely a snow team. In fact, everyone is an ice type except for the Annihilate. Alright, so they're probably going to be bringing Knife Cat and Abomasnow first, probably. Either that or Avalugg first and Abomasnow. Not quite sure what he's going to bring in the back other than maybe Knife Cat, but we can probably guarantee Knife Cat and Abomasnow. And maybe, I'm thinking maybe the Excalibur, perhaps. But it does look like a lot of physical damage other than the Frostmoth. So I think what we're going to do... I think I'm going to go ahead and lead with Wo-Chien and Palafin. Actually, no, I do want to lead with Palafin. I'm going to bring in Arcanine in the back. And I think against this team, I want to bring... I'm going to bring Garganacl. We're going to try and meet his kind of bulky offense with total defense and see how well that works for us. And in case you didn't know, they did make a change this generation. Hail is no longer a thing, it's now snow. And when snow is on the field, it increases ice types defense slightly. I think it's 50%. Similar to sandstorm and rock types, increasing their special defense. Alrighty. So we see the Abomasnow first. We kind of figured that one out. But the Avalug is a little bit of a surprise. Wasn't expecting him to come out first. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm expecting an Earthquake. Or not an Earthquake, some Ice-type moves here. So I'm going to go ahead and Terra immediately. And I'm going to go ahead and throw a Leech Seed onto the Avalug. And we are just going to switch right out for Arcanine. Get the attack drops on these guys. Shouldn't hurt Abomasnow too much to have an attack drop unless he is physically invested. But Avalug probably doesn't like the attack drop, although he is likely probably going to go body press for his main damage. But we're going to go ahead and throw out Leech Seed to kind of put some pressure on him to try and get off the field. Alright, there goes the Aurora Veil. And the Iron Defense. So he's going to boost his defenses and start doing some body presses. So that's his plan there. I think he probably built his team along the same lines as me, as just kind of tanky, annoying team. We're going to go ahead and we're going to knock off the Abomasnow. Drop whatever items it's got. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go for the Protect here, just because I want to see what he's up to. I want to see what they do. I kind of expected the Abomasnow to either switch out or go for a Terra just to avoid the fire damage. Alright, and we missed a Leech Seed here, so now we know what he wants to do. He also wants to throw Leech Seeds. So that is good to know. So let's go ahead and let's get a Giga Drain off on Avalug before he becomes a problem. And we're going to go ahead and Flare Blitz into the Abomasnow. This will likely take it out. Yeah. That 4 times weakness is no fun for him. And it's a crit. That crit might have mattered with that defense boost from the snow. Alright, there goes the Giga Drain. It did a good amount of damage to Avalug. And Body Press. Yep. It's going to do a lot of damage, especially with a +4 on Avalug. Avalug has a very high base defense. Plus the snow is going to kind of do a lot of damage. Even though we do know that he's got quite a lot of physical defense, I am going to go for the Palafin. 1 Body Press onto our Garganackle would be enough to just murder it. So we're going to try and do as much work with Palafin as possible. Alright, so we got a defense drop. Going to go ahead and seed Knife Cat here. And we are going to go ahead. I'm going to go for the Protect here, just to kind of get more chip damage off on the Avalug with Leech Seed. So we are going to see a Terra into Poison on Knife Cat here. That shouldn't affect our Leech Seed. It should still go off. Okay, he's going to throw out a Substitute. Not a big fan of that. That means he kind of gets free reign to do whatever he wants. And the Avalug has Recover. Good to know. All right. Okay, Leech Seed doing its thing. I am going to go ahead and go for I'm going to go for the knockoff onto Avalug. It's not going to do much damage, but it is going to get rid of whatever item it's holding. And our Qian Pao friend is now poison type, so Drain Punch isn't going to do a whole lot. So let's go ahead and get Jet Punch off. I don't know that this is going to break Substitute. I really don't think it's going to. Nope, it just let him get a free sword stance. Oh boy, okay. This guy is doing stall better than I am. Alright, he had a Rocky helmet on. Let's get rid of that. Right, body press onto Palafin. Yeah, Palafin's down. I don't think we are gonna do very well this first battle here. Alright. Although it is good to see that people are running with ice types. It used to be just not a thing anybody did because they're just so frail and delicate. And the snow buff this generation is pretty big for them. Alright, we're going to go out with Garganackle. Again, Garganackle probably not going to do very well, just due to body press dealing super effective damage. Let's go for another Giga Drain. Actually, I want to break that Substitute as fast as possible. And I'm gonna go. It's not really in our best interest to stall here. I'm just gonna go for a throat chop. Oh, ow! And it's a crit. That did a crap ton of damage. All right. Okay, we took out the Substitute, but it lasted more than one turn, so the Substitute really did far more for his side than it did for ours. And even with that boost, that did not do a whole lot of damage. It didn't even do half. Okay, so we do know that our Qian Pao friend does have leftovers. Makes sense, especially with how bulky this team is. Although, him being poison type, he does lose out on the defense bonus. And it looks like the snow has disappeared anyway. I'm going to try and go for a Leech Seed here. He might just go for the attack, to be honest. Or go for another Substitute and protect himself from it. But we are going to go for a Protect on Garganackle. Alright. We see Avalug going back, and we see Frostmoth coming in. That's kind of interesting. Frostmoth, I do believe, gets Tailwind, so it's probably going to go that route. Although I don't... Probably not. I'm very slow. And he's going to... These are my last two Pokemon. He's going to win the speed tie, or the speed game anyway, so he doesn't need to lay down a Tailwind. Unless he really wants to boost up Avalug, which would be weird. Alright, and Wo-Chien doing what Wo-Chien does best, which is just staying alive. And we are getting considerable chip damage on Qian Pao. I do want to try and take off that leftovers, though. Should I go for Wide Guard? Should I be worried about what Frostmoth is going to do? Does it have spread moves? I'm going to go for Assault Cure. Thanks, sir. We are pretty tanky. Alright, and Garganackle goes down. Now, I can be really annoying and just keep Wo-Chien out as long as possible. And I think I might actually just do that. I might be able to win this just by outlasting him. Although, with Avalug having Recover, that's probably not going to happen, but we can try. Probably going to time out. And if we do time out, then whoever has the most HP wins. I'm going to go ahead and throw Leech Seed out. Even if he switches back out, having double-sided Leech Seed is kind of in my benefit. And we see a Quiver Dance. Okay, so he's just going to boost himself up and just kind of wreck me. So I don't think we are going to be able to do enough damage and outlast that on a boosted Frostmoth. Which is, again, kind of neat. You don't see ice types very often. And especially Frostmoth. Frostmoth is so frail and delicate that it's kind of wild to me that it's actually being used in ranked. Alright. After this turn, though, I am going to forfeit. All Frostmoth has to do is just do a couple Quiver Dances, and there's really nothing I can do about it. It'll be kind of out of control. Between its boosted Blizzards and Avalug's boosted Body Presses, I'm not living that damage. So, alright, so first battle was kind of a rough one. Not gonna lie. Was not expecting super defensive ice team right off the bat. But like I said, with stall teams, you do run into the problem of damage. I just simply didn't have the damage to deal with that fast enough. Basically, his Avalug got one stack of Iron Defense, and that was it. He could probably body my all of my damage dealers. Alright, yep, continue battling. And here, on this team, my primary damage dealers are going to be our Fluttermane, Palafin, and a little bit of Gothitelle. And I guess a little bit of Arcanine as well. Our Garganacl and our Wo-Chien are here to do some stall. Oh, and we actually see a Bruxish. I'm seeing a lot of stuff that people just don't really run. So that's really interesting. We do see another Knife Cat, though. Dragonite, Chi-Yu, Fluttermane, and Rotom Wash. So a little bit less bulky of a team than our first opponent. I am interested to see what he's going to lead with. He could lead with Chi-Yu. He could lead with Chien-Pao. It's kind of a toss-up. But as far as a partner, who would he partner with who? Probably Chi-Yu and Fluttermane, I would assume, and maybe Chien-Pao and Dragonite. That would be my guess. So, actually, let's lead with... Excuse me. Let's lead with Wo-Chien, Palafin, and yeah, let's go with that. And Gothitelle. We are going to switch out right away on our Palafin so we can get that 0 to hero right away. I am kind of expecting the Chi-Yu. So I do want to make sure that Palafin is nice and healthy for Chi-Yu. Although it is likely that Chi-Yu would Terra into something that would drop its fire type. At least, that's what I would do. Okay, so we get a special defense drop with Fluttermane on the field. That's not a great thing. Fluttermane can do quite a lot of damage. Just on its own. So I am going to go... It's probably going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. Let's go ahead and Terra right away. And I am interested to see how much damage he does. So I am going to throw a Leech Seed out onto the Fluttermane. Should live. And we are going to put out Gothitelle. Gothitelle should be able to eat that hit, especially since she didn't get the special defense drop. So even though Fluttermane is kind of a monster in the damage that it can do, it should still live through a Dazzling Gleam. But I do want to put some protection on Wo-Chien. And being poison type, you would resist the Dazzling Gleam. So yeah, that's what we see. Wo-Chien takes almost nothing for damage. Okay, we see Heat Wave, and Gothitelle goes down. Wow. Okay. Was not expecting Gothitelle to immediately die. But good to know. I do think, though, I am going to send out Garganackle. That way I can wide guard their spread moves. They're both using it, so I think that's probably the way to go. Not only that, but Garganackle could also resist a lot of their shenanigans. Alright. We are also going to Leech Seed Chi-Yu here. And we are going to wide guard. What I'm kind of wanting him to do, though, is I kind of want him to switch out. So, yep. He was not expecting the wide guard at all, so both of his attacks just hit nothing. Which is really good for us. So he's probably going to switch tactics here. He's probably going to go for more of a single target strategy, and it's likely going to be into Wo-Chien. You get a lot of recovery from having double Leech Seed and leftovers. Alrighty, that's good for us. I am going to go for the Protect on Wo-Chien just to kind of stall that out a little bit. And I am going to go for a Salt Cure onto... I wonder, who am I threatened more by? Fluttermane or Chi-Yu? Probably Chi-Yu. So we're going to go for a Salt Cure on Chi-Yu. It is going to do super effective damage initially. But Salt Cure does extra damage to water and steel types. Alright, so we get a... That did a good amount of damage for a resisted hit. So, yeah, I think Chi-Yu was the right play here to get rid of as a threat. Some nasty damage coming from that thing. Alright, Wo-Chien, almost entirely healthy. Actually, am I going to hit full health this turn? Oh yeah, gonna hit full health. So, Wo-Chien doing the vampire thing, living his dream. Oh, hey Ellie! It's good to see you. How are you? Haven't seen you in a long time. Alright, I wonder if the Chi-Yu, though, is Choice Scarfed, which is why he went for another, Heat Wave. That would be interesting. But I am going to go for the knockoff. Hopefully, that's not doing... Oh, Garganackle goes down. I popped up on your feed. Yeah, you subscribed to me, actually. Let's see. Back when I was doing ESO content, you subscribed to me 6 years ago. And it's still in my feed. So, recent enough to still be on my feed. Yeah, it's been a while, huh? Alright, Chiyu goes down. Good. It was dealing way more damage than I wanted it to. So we're going to bring up Palafin. Palafin is going to hopefully be our damage here. Although I am pretty sure that our Fluttermane friend is very likely going to be focusing on doing as much damage as it possibly can. Alright. There we get a defense drop. From Knife Cat, we are going to go ahead and throw Leech Seeds at that. And I'm immediately going to protect. I want to see if he's going to single target me or if he's going to try and do some more Dazzling Gleam shenanigans. I'm doing pretty good, actually. Can't really complain much. Decided to get into Pokemon streaming fairly recently. So, kind of what I'm doing now. Alright. See you protect from Qian Pao. And with Bruxish out, we can no longer use priority. So that is not terribly a problem, but it's not great for us. Let's go ahead and throw... actually, I want to put it on Qian Pao, and Qian Pao did do a protect. Let's go ahead and Drain Punch onto the Qian Pao. He's probably going to Terra... Oh, that didn't do a whole lot of damage at all. I'm just focusing on having fun with it at the moment, Ellie. I not looking to, like, you know, become a famous, like, streamer or anything, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm glad you stopped by. I do think about you every so often. In fact, actually, probably a week or two ago, I was actually talking about you with Chuck. We were talking about... He asked me why I don't play ESO anymore, and I just told him, you know, I just kind of fell out of it. But I do miss you and Kevin and Amanda. Although I do talk to Amanda fairly often. Every time I see her on Final Fantasy, I give her shit about it. Alright. We are going to... try and do something about Bruxish, because Bruxish has the capacity to do quite a lot of damage to us. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and protect to Wo-Chien here. And we are going to Wave Crash into Bruxish. Because honestly, right now, Bruxish is kind of the big threat here. This is going to hurt a bit. Okay, Palafin lives it. Sweet. Although, actually, we're probably going to go down to this Wave Crash. Yep. So Bruxish is going for Super Fang, which is going to reduce my current health by 50%. So what it wants to do is it wants to weaken me to the point where it can use Psychic Fangs and do a considerable amount of damage and hopefully two-shot me. I think that's probably where he's going with this. Alright. I'm thinking that's his plan anyway. I'm going to go ahead and Leech Seed Fluttermane. Again, we can't use Jet Punch because Bruxish, but I'm going to go for the Protect just to kind of stall them out. you know what? Being antisocial is sometimes good. This is kind of my antisocial retreat. I can not deal with anyone if I so choose. Alright, so we see the... Oh, Fluttermane avoided it. That sucks. Alright. But that's okay. We can go for another Protect on Wo-Chien the next turn and just stall Bruxish out. Bruxish. God, I hate that name. I do like the Pokemon, though. I think it's a really good Pokemon. I know a lot of people hate its existence. I love it. So we're going to go for the Protect here. You know, I really don't have a whole lot of recourse. I'm going to try and Jet Punch into the Fluttermane and see if Dazzling only works on Bruxish or if it works for the team member too. I think it's gonna work on the team member too. I did read that just real quick. Dazzling. Okay, yeah, it works on the team member. The way they differentiate Dazzling and Queenly Majesty in their definitions, when I looked on Cerebi anyway, is that Dazzling works for just the Pokemon itself, whereas Queenly Majesty works on the entire field. Alright. I will. Thanks for stopping by, Ellie. Alright. So, Bruxish is out of here. Thank goodness. Kind of tired of dealing with it. And it did try to do a Psychic Fangs before it went down. I saw that. Alright. We are going to go... we could go for neutral damage and get knockoff. Or we could go Giga Drain and get a... Actually, let's go Giga Drain. That's probably our safest option. Whatever it's going to do to us, we're probably going to gain back from a Giga Drain. Giga Drain and leftovers. So we're probably... Oh, wow, that didn't restore much at all, to be honest. But I think we have more damage than Fluttermane does. At least we have more recovery. So I am actually going to go ahead and Protect here just to get another turn of leftovers on in my health bar. And I'm sure my opponent is absolutely loving this for himself. Wo-Chien, eating some leftovers. Alright, we are going to go for a Giga Drain. Man, I wish we had landed that Leech Seed earlier. That would have been so good for our position. And we get the special defense drop. That is not good for us. But Giga Drain was enough to KO. So we end up winning this round. Alright. I don't think we did quite well that game. I think we kind of got set back on our feet a little bit. At least we won. I just don't think it was a very clean win. I think we could have done better. But now that I've done 2 games, I'm really feeling the lack of power on this team. Palafin did do pretty well. It's just that Bruxish, with its Dazzling ability, really limits what it can do without Jet Punch. Alright, yes, let's continue battling. I am going to go for one more battle. Again, like I said, I'm not super satisfied with this team's damage output. But we'll give it one more try. It was kind of a shame, though, that the last game, losing Gothitelle so quickly. It really didn't get a chance to do anything at all other than just be a damage sponge. Which is not really its primary job. I mean, it kind of is. It is a tanky Gothitelle, but man, that was a lot of damage. Alright, and we see a rain team. Or at least a very likely rain team with Pelipper and Arrokuda there. Or Barraskewda. Palafin, we see some Spore shenanigans, potentially, and Knife Cat. Knife Cat is almost certainly going to be on the team. Probably in the back, I think. So I think what we're going to see first is either Pelipper and Aerocuda, or Barraskewda, or some combination of that, or we could even see the Amoonguss and Palafin, so Palafin can immediately switch out. So what I want to do, let's go ahead and put Wo-Chien out, pair him with Gothitelle, and Arcanine and Fluttermane in the back. I think that's probably the way to go. We're not going to bring Palafin this time just because there is so much resistance to both his fighting and water attacks that I have. So we are going to do the best we can with what limited damage Arcanine can do. But Fluttermane should be able to do a considerable amount of damage to his entire team. I am a little worried about the Amoonguss, but we are carrying the safety goggles on our Arcanine. So I am hoping that we can get a good predict on who he's going to spore first. Alright, so we see the Pelican and the Barracuda. Rain comes out, and Barraskewda's speed is already ridiculous, and the Rain plus Swift Swim makes its speed monstrous. So we're not winning any kind of speed game here whatsoever. Even if we had Tailwind up, I don't think we're going to win that speed game. So actually, I am going to go ahead and... I am worried about a Hurricane, so I'm going to Terra right away, just so I don't take super effective damage from a Hurricane. And I'm going to actually throw Seeds onto Pelipper, and we are going to fake out Barraskewda. Although Barraskewda probably going to use Aqua Jet, and if that's the case, fake out is probably not going to hit. But he's going to go ahead and Terra as well. Is it a Terra Ghost? It's Terra Flying. Okay. That's not quite as scary. If it was a Terra Ghost, that would have been terrifying because that means Fake Out would whiff, and we would just be taking a buttload of damage right away. But I'm glad that that's not the strat here. Although, him being Terra Flying, I'm pretty sure he's going to Terra Blast, and I'm going to take a Hurricane straight to Wo-Chien. Okay, we do get the Fake Out off. Cool. Barraskewda flinches. We see the Hurricane. It did a good amount of damage, to be honest. With as tanky as we are, that actually did a fair amount of damage. We are going to heal quite a bit of it back, though, with Leftovers and a Leech Seed. I am going to go ahead and go for a Protect here. I do imagine that we're probably going to eat another Hurricane, and very likely a Terra Blast from Barraskewda. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm thinking this is going to be a free Psychic damage onto Barraskewda, so I'm going to go ahead and go for it. I would switch in Arcanine here to just kind of slow Barraskewda down with that attack drop, but I really don't want to predict wrong and take an Aqua Jet straight to Arcanine. It is kind of my only answer for Amoonguss, if he is carrying it. Since he didn't lead with it, I almost think he's not carrying it. Alright, we see Liquidation. Right into the Protect. Another Hurricane. Right into the Protect. Excellent. That is great for us. Barraskewda, not very well known for its defenses, so I'm imagining this is going to do, a very good amount of damage. Excellent. But now we know his plan. His plan is to try and remove Wo-Chien as fast as possible. Alright, we are back up to full. He didn't Terra Blast, though, so that makes me think he doesn't have Terra Blast. So I think we should be safe to go for a Leech Seed on Barraskewda. Actually, I don't want to go for a Leech Seed on Barraskewda. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go for a knockoff on Pelipper. Not sure what it's holding, but I do want to get a little bit of extra damage onto it. And we are going to go... Actually, let's go for a Heal Pulse on Wo Qian and just bring it right back up, because that's where he's focusing his damage. That's where that damage... Ooh, he went for Gothitelle. Oh! Oh, okay. We are completely changing directions here. Alright, Gothitelle is the enemy here, apparently. Alright, it is a damn proc, so... Didn't really do much with that knockoff. What we should have done is we should have Leech Seeded. But, oh well. I'm going to go for the Giga Drain. I think we're safe enough to go for it. And I'm actually going to protect on Gothitelle just to keep her around just a little while longer. Okay, we see a protect on Pelipper. Gothitelle does her thing. What's Barraskewda gonna do? Liquidation. Right into my protect. Although we did use the Giga Drain on the Pelican, so doesn't do much. This turn was just kind of a flop for everyone. Although I think I do come out ahead this turn because I do get that chip damage from Leech Seed. Yeah, let's just go for the knockoff into Barraskewda. He's not switching. He's just not doing what I want him to do. So we are eating liquidations like crazy. I think we either go for the double protect or just let Gothitelle go down here. There's no way we're going to outspeed Barraskewda. So I'm going to go for the double protect. See if we get it. And we do not. Liquidation should do, yeah, a fair amount of damage, but Pelipper is going to come in with a Tailwind. Alright. Gothitelle lives to see another day. I don't know why he is so heavily invested in speed. Like, that Barraskewda's speed with Tailwind, Swift Swim, and Rain, probably ridiculous. Probably the fastest thing in the game, in Gen 9, like, entirely. Alright. Let's see what we get. I'm kind of hoping that he brings out the Amoonguss. I'm hoping for it. And we do know that Amoonguss can't Terra, so we know that we would just waste time throwing Leech Seeds at it because it's going to stay Grass Poison. Alright, so we do see our little mushroom friend. I'm actually going to go for the knockoff on Amoonguss here. He's probably going to Spore me, but that's okay. I'm going to go... Let's go for the Psychic on Amoonguss. I think... Oh, we see a Protect. Okay. Well, Pelipper should go down this turn to Leech Seed. I didn't expect Gothitelle to live this turn, but I was hoping that I would do at least a little bit of damage before it went away. So, not exactly according to my plan, but I'm not terribly worried about it. I think he's kind of running into the same issue that I am. His team is fairly bulky as well, and he's just simply not doing enough damage to really threaten me. And Magnezone. Alright. I have Magnezone on myself, of my own, that is also ready to be used in Ranked. But I just don't feel like it has a really good spot in Ranked. We are going to go ahead and Leech Seed Magnezone. I do think we are going to eat a Spore, though. We can kind of go for a Snarl. We don't have to worry about Spore too much on Arcanine because we are wearing the safety goggles. And with the Amoonguss just Rage Powdering, Snarl's still going to hit both opponents. But that does kind of suck for Wo-Chien, because that means that he can kind of control who I put Leech Seed on. And of course, Leech Seed is not going to land on Fungus Buddy here. I am going to go for the knockoff into the Magnezone, kind of expecting him to redirect me. I do want to put as much damage on Magnezone as possible, because he's the big damage threat here. I'm going to go for another Snarl. It's still going to hurt, but at least I can kind of shred his offense here a little bit. Kind of chunk that Magnezone's damage down. And we get the paralysis. That's not great for us. Alright. So down goes the Assault Vest, which is great for us. That means that Magnezone is no longer going to protect him. I'm still afraid of the Rage Powder. I'm still going to do it, though. I'm still super healthy on Wo-Chien, so I'm going to go for the Leech Seed onto Magnezone. And we are going to go... Do I go for the Flare Blitz? I don't think I'm going to outspeed either of them, even though the Tailwind did peter out. I'm going to go for the Flare Blitz into the Amoonguss, because I do want to kind of get rid of that as soon as possible. And I'm... he didn't use Rage Powder and it misses anyway. I want to get rid of Amoonguss because Fluttermane really doesn't have a good answer for Amoonguss. But we take Rocky Helmet damage and recoil damage, so that is enough to take Arcanine out on its own. Here we see a Thunder. Wo-Chien dodges it. The Rain's no longer here to support it, but Wo-Chien does take a nap, so that's not great. I am hoping, though, that Fluttermane can come in and deal enough damage to Amoonguss so that we don't get double sleep. That would be kind of a disaster. I'm just going to keep going for the Leech Seed. I mean, I really don't have much else to do. Let's go for the Shadow Ball. We're going to single target this. So we are going to Shadow Ball into the Amoonguss. I should outspeed both of them. But I think what he wants to do is probably get either the paralysis on Fluttermane or try and take it out with a Thunder. I'm kind of hoping he misses with the Thunder. If we get paralyzed, that's not going to be great for us. So we see a Gyro Ball. Okay. Kind of an interesting Magnezone, to be honest. Okay, Amoonguss might actually go for a double protect here just to try and get rid of my Fluttermane. He does go for the double protect and it fails him. So Amoonguss goes bye-bye. But I do think Fluttermane is also going to go bye-bye. Which is okay. I think we can probably outlast him. Please get the Leech Seed off. Thank you. Okay. So now we have a very clear advantage with Leech Seed. Gyro Ball goes out. Fluttermane goes down. That was a smart play by him, trying to get off the double protect. It just didn't play out. He had a 50-50 chance, and it just didn't work. All right. So now we can just kind of do whatever. I don't think he has anywhere near enough damage to take out Wo-Chien or even threaten Wo-Chien at all. See a Gyro Ball. Not even close to out-damaging Leech Seed. So We win. Just gonna take a while. The battle was canceled. Yeah. I think we did really well. I think we expected his team very well, and we brought the right counters to his team. Arcanine really did kind of screw up his momentum quite a lot. The Snarl drops really, really shut down Magnezone when we needed that Magnezone to be shut down. Although it was interesting that it carried Gyro Ball of all things. Especially Gyro Ball on a Tailwind team. Basically how Gyro Ball works is the slower you are than your opponent, the more damage it does. So if you have Tailwind speeding you up, Gyro Ball's damage just by default is going to be a much lower. Just kind of weird. I don't think he prepared that team quite well enough. I think he probably needs to revisit that team comp a little bit. Speaking of revisiting the team comp, I actually wanted to revisit this team comp. But we'll do one more battle. All right, who we got? Possibly a Sun team, possibly Trick Room. We got several Pokemon that can lay down a Trick Room and can make use of it. Very good use of it. Actually, I'm almost certain this is just a Trick Room with Sun flavor, basically. And we could see Trick Room come out of Meowscarada. We could see it come out of Hatterene. I think Mimikyu can also get it. So we could see Trick Room come out of quite a lot. I am gonna try to predict who's gonna Trick Room. We are gonna lead with Wo-Chien again. It is just kind of a immovable beast. So leading with it so far has been very, very good to us, except for that first game. That was not great. I'm going to go in with Wo-Chien and Gothitelle first and try and stop the Trick Room, or at least delay it. And then I think I'm going to bring in Garganacl in the back. And we also might see a Psychic Train, so priority isn't really going to work too great. I'm going to bring in Arcanine, I think. This is the lowest damage we're going to bring in. We took two of our damage dealers and left them out. So this might not be the greatest matchup. So I'm kind of hoping we can outlast and whittle them down slowly. All right. So we can't fake out onto the Mimikyu, of course, but we can fake out onto Hatterene, unless Hatterene immediately terras into Ghost, which I don't think it's going to. But I'm gonna Terra right away because I'm probably gonna eat a fairy move like right to the face. So we're gonna Terra to poison, and I'm actually gonna go for the knockoff right away into Mimikyu to break its disguise and knock off whatever annoying item it's got. And we're gonna fake out into Hatterene. Like I said, it's kind of a toss-up who's gonna lay down the Trick Room first, because I think both of them can have it. I know definitely Hatterene can have it, but I think Mimikyu can also have it. It would make sense, though, if he had Mimikyu put down the Trick Room, because it would be immune to Fake Out. So we see a Terra right away onto Hatterene. Please don't be Ghost. Fire. Okay. That's kind of okay. Getting some boosted mystical fires from it, I guess. I'm not quite sure why fire in particular. Alright, so we do break Mimikyu's disguise, so that's good. And he had a Lumberry. Huh. And Mimikyu puts down the Trick Room. Yeah, because he can't be faked out. Makes sense. Although, that's kind of good for us, because Wo-Chien should lose the speed test here and come out first. So let's go ahead and throw down a Leech Seed onto Hatterene. I'm a little more worried about Hatterene than I am anything else, just because of its psychic typing. And we are going to go for... I think we're going to go for a Heal Pulse into Wo-Chien. I kind of anticipate Wo-Chien taking a considerable amount of damage here from Hatterene. So we see the Psychic, of course. Let's see... Ooh, that hurt a lot. And... Oh. Magic Bounce. I completely forgot about that. We just Leech Seeded ourselves. That's not great, so we're going to switch out right away. Okay, we see a Shadow Claw. Gothitelle kind of eats that real well. Wow, I can't believe I forgot about Magic Bounce. Not great for us. Alright. So let's go ahead and go into Garganackle, actually. And... Gothitelle's probably going to take another Shadow Claw, which is kind of okay. I'm going to go for... Who do I want to target first? I kind of want to get rid of Hatterene. Just because Hatterene is kind of the biggest threat to Wo-Chien at the moment. Garganackle's probably still going to take a good amount of damage since its special defense isn't stellar. Yeah, it was a good amount of damage, especially for a tank. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Ooh, we got the special defense drop, so that's good for us. And a Shadow Claw onto Garganackle is going to do absolutely nothing. Garganackle's defense is ridiculous. Let's go ahead. He's not using any spread moves, so I'm not going to go for a Wide Guard. I do, though, I could go for a Recover and just kind of skate, because I don't think he's going to target Garganackle at all. We do have Trick Room down, though. I'm going to go for Assault Cure. I think that's the better play here. And let's go for a Heal Pulse on Garganackle. Okay, we see a Mystical Fire, so this might hurt a little bit. Okay, Gothitelle just eats that right up. And a Special Attack drop. That's okay, though, really, because Gothitelle's not really meant to do damage. So Special Attack drop's not horrible for her. But we are going to heal up Garganackle quite a bit. And you were Citrus Berried. I hate that for me. Garganackle goes right back up to full. Ooh, was that a crit? It was. Okay. So that crit absolutely mattered because we just saw that Mimikyu's Shadow Claws weren't doing a whole lot of damage. But we were almost at half health, and that took us right out. Alright. I do wish, though, I could have saved Arcanine for a little bit later in the fight. I really wanted to see what his backline was before I brought out Arcanine. Alright. We are going to go for another Salt Cure onto Mimikyu. And we are just going to snarl the crap out of... Okay, now we see the Psychic Terrain. So we could see the Expanding Force coming out of our dear friend Hatterene. In which case, we are just going to Wide Guard forever. Because a boosted Psychic Terrain... or a boosted Expanding Force out of her really, really sucks. Alright, we get the special... Who did we put the curse on? Oh, Garganackle. Okay. Well, that's kind of okay. He is trying to kind of phase us out, though, with that that curse. Curse does 1/4 of your health each turn, and there's no way that Garganackle is really going to be able to do a whole lot with that without having to recover every single turn. But you know what? I'm going to do it. No, I'm not. I'm going to go for the Salt Cure. I want to get as much damage going as possible, and Salt Cure is just a good way to do that. Again, oh, actually, no. Ooh, I want to go for the Wide Guard. Both of them can do an expanding force and do some really gnarly damage. So we are going to go for the Snarl. Garganackle will just have to do its job until Curse takes it down. So hopefully we can shred their special attack enough so that expanding force just becomes a non-issue. Okay, here comes the expanding force into Wide Guard. Oh, and single target Psychic. So he is not fond of Garganackle doing Garganackle things. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to be enough to kill. I am going to go for another Wide Guard. I can't risk eating a boosted expanding force to the face. I think Garganackle is going to go down, of course, this turn, which is okay. We can bring in Wo-Chien, and Wo-Chien can at least outlast a bit of damage from this now -2 Armor Rouge, I think. The big threat in Hatterene is now gone. So expanding force, totally fine. We're just gonna pretend like it never happened. Although the curse damage is going to take down our rock friend here. Goodbye, rock friend. Alright. Let's go Wo-Chien. It is a little scary throwing out Wo-Chien, though, in front of a very powerful psychic type. But, not super worried about it. The Sun, though, that might not be great for us because that also boosts Armor Rouge's other half, which is fire. So, but on the plus side, Armor Rouge isn't immune to Leech Seed at all. But we might eat an Earth Power from our friend Torkoal. So I think we're just going to continue with the Snarls and just try and shred their special attack. Oh, we did not get it on the Torkoal, though. That's not great. Okay, we see the expanding force. This shouldn't hurt much at all. Yeah, it really didn't. And that was at a -3. If we had taken that at a you know, just a neutral without the -3, that would have sucked. But we do see a crap ton of damage come through with that Earth Power, though. We are going to definitely protect on Wo-Chien. And again, we're just going to keep going for Snarls. That's pretty much all Arcanine can do here. I was really hoping to get the kill on Armor Rouge, but that's okay. That does mean that we are going to get a little bit more healing off of it for Leech Seed. I do kind of hope, though, that Leech Seed is enough to take it down. An Earth Power into Arcanine. Alright. We might actually lose this to a turtle. In fact, I'm pretty sure we're going to lose this to a turtle. It's only got a -1 when it should have a -2. Alright. Well, the only thing I can really hope for is that Earth Power somehow misses. It's got 100% accuracy. I don't see how it's going to miss, but we're going to try. So we do throw the Leech Seed, which is great. Earth Power goes out, and we live! Oh my god! Wo-Chien's a monster! And we're actually faster than the turtle, so we might be able to do a little bit of shenanigans here with Giga Drain. Maybe. Hopefully. I'm just gonna go for it. You know what would have been even smarter? I should have protected just to get enough, as much health as I could from Leech Seed. And, yeah, that probably was the smarter bet here. I bet Earth Power, yeah, Earth Power takes me out. Oh well, and it was a crit. Why? Just because. I don't think we were gonna win that anyway. That Torkoal damage was something else, though. At that first hit from Earth Power and Snarl missing really, really kind of screwed us. So, all right. Intense snail versus turtle battle. All right. Do you want to continue battling? Yes, but I want to switch teams. I am not enjoying the lack of damage. So we are going to go to another team that does have maybe the same problem. Not 100% sure. We kind of switch out the Palafin for King Gambit and the Garganackle for Ting Lu. So we'll see how that goes. Ting Lu on this team is carrying Fissure just for extra BM. And Stomping Tantrum. So if Fissure manages to miss, Stomping Tantrum is going to do double damage. And if Fissure manages to hit, well, there we go. I got a free KO. So kind of ugly damage coming from such a really bulky, tanky Pokemon. But I am going to take a little break, and I will be right back before we go into the next battle. See you in a minute. Alright, I am back. Was a much longer break than I had really intended, so I apologize for anyone that's still sticking around. Alright, so let's go ahead and go with Team 2 and see how well we do. This team is almost entirely my creation. Like I said, we only switched out really 2 Pokemon from earlier, but those 2 Pokemon that we switched out, I didn't follow any kind of sort of guide. I just kind of went with what seemed popular at the time and what seemed good. So we'll see how this goes. So it looks like we've got Gallade, Farigiraf, also a King Gambit, Tinglu, Arboliva, don't see her very often, and Fluttermane. So this could be a Trick Room team. We do see some priority cancellation too with the Farigiraf and sharpness out of the Gallade, so a healthy amount of damage. Let's go ahead and let's actually lead with Tinglu. Let's lead with Tinglu. Gothitelle for support, Fluttermane in the back. And I'm kind of torn between these two, which one I should take. Really, the only one that I'm kind of worried about is Tinglu. I'm going to bring Arcanine just for the Gallade. Pretty sure we're going to see Gallade come out. If we do, we can swap out Gothitelle for Arcanine and kind of start shredding its attack a bit and kind of chunk down that sharpness damage. Alright. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. Gallade and Farigiraf. Okay. So we could see that Farigiraf puts down the Trick Room. And with Trick Room down, that means we can no longer use priority because of Farigiraf's ability, Armor Tail. So I'm actually going to go... Well, maybe not. Do I Terra here? Or Terra later? Farigiraf is probably... I'm actually going to swap. I'm going to swap out for Arcanine from Tinglu. And we are going to go ahead and we're going to fake out... Oh, we can't use fake out because of Armor Tail. We're going to go for the Protect on Gothitelle. Just kind of keep her alive as long as possible. Yeah, if I do it a little bit later, they might second guess what I will actually go put my Terra as. But I really don't want to Terra into a poison type in front of 2 psychic types. Like, that's just not smart. Oh! It's not sharpness, it's justified. Alright. Okay. So he's at a +3. That's not great for us. And we see a Drain Punch into Arcanine, which just completely murders it. That was not expected. At all. Wow. Okay. And Arcanine was supposed to be my answer for Gallade. Yikes. This may not go our way. Let's go out with Fluttermane and hope that we outspeed. I don't know offhand Gallade's speed, so I don't know if we're going to tie or not. Actually, you know what I want to do? No, I don't want to Terra here. I want to keep my Ghost immunity, I think. But what I am going to do is I'm going to Moonblast, because that is the most amount of damage that I can do to Gallade. And we are going to... we're going to Psychic into... No. Yeah, we're going to Psychic into Gallade. I think that's pretty much all we can do. Okay, we're going to actually Psychic into Farigiraf because it has Ally Switch, which, honestly, I haven't seen Ally Switch really be used since, like, early Sword and Shield. So, did not anticipate the Ally Switch, did not anticipate the Justified at all. I would be surprised if this Farigiraf is actually even running Armor Tail. Probably just to be kind of a jerk about it, but yeah, this team is already kind of giving me the ick. Let's go ahead and Terra. Going Terra Poison in front of 2 Psychic types is just not great. I'm actually going to Fissure into the Farigiraf, anticipating... actually, let's Terra Poison. Yeah, Terra Poison, and we're going to Fissure into the Farigiraf, expecting another one. Another Ally Switch. Let's go ahead and Psychic into the Farigiraf. If nothing else, we will take Farigiraf out with the Psychic. If they do Ally Switch, we'll put some healthy amount of damage on Gallade. Not a whole lot. I guess it just really depends on how tanky this Gallade is. And with a +4, it really has the... Yeah, he's just going to max out his attack. This is gross. This is real gross. I wonder if he's Choice Scarfed, too, just to add insult to injury on that. Because I didn't pay attention to what he did last time. Did he do a Drain Punch? Yeah, he did do Drain Punch. Wow, +6 and Ting Lu just ate that like nothing. That's actually kind of nutty how much damage that did not do. And Farigiraf lived somehow. Okay, so we failed the Fissure. That's okay. That means Stomping Tantrum is going to do a crap ton of damage. I am going to anticipate shenanigans, though. So I'm gonna target the Stomping Tantrum into Farigiraf, expecting the Ally Switch. I'm going to go ahead and go for a Heal Pulse on Ting Lu. Just to heal it back up, because that was a ridiculous amount of damage it did not take. Okay, we don't see the Ally Switch. A Zen Headbutt, so he's not Choice Scarfed. Wow, okay. Great. Disgusting team. Absolutely disgusting. I was not... I'm just... Yeah, I didn't even take out one of his Pokemon. That's gross. That is a gross amount of damage. And I had just said on my break, thinking of making a hyper-offensive team to kind of break some of these stall teams. That was it. That was the stall breaker. Unreal. I don't think there's anything that I could have done. Not a thing at all. My only check for a kind of a physical sweeper was Arcanine, and Arcanine went down in one hit on turn 1. To a Drain Punch, no less. Alright, moving on. Thank God. So, Amoonguss, Knife Cat, Dragonite, Palafin, Arcanine, Iron Hands. Every single one of them is a physical threat. Except for Amoonguss, and Amoonguss isn't really an offensive threat at all. So I'm actually going to lead off with Arcanine immediately. Let's go with Ting Lu again. I think Ting Lu would have had a good opportunity to actually do some work. Especially with how much physical damage it just does not take. And we're also probably... I'm going to come in with Fluttermane and King Gambit. I think kind of my tankier Pokemon here. We are going to leave Wo-Chien out just because it's more specially defensive than it is physically defensive, and that team is kind of a nightmare. Again, really the only counter to Amoonguss we have is Arcanine. So I kind of wonder if we should bring it in the back. Nah, we'll go with that. Alright, let's see what we got. God, that Gallade was just a monster. Justified, it had a decent amount of speed. I wonder if it was just Jolly and just had max speed, because I would have thought for sure it was using a Choice Scarf. Alright, so we're going to drop their attack. Good for us. We're also going to drop their special attack as well, just in case. Dragonite, I guess, can be a mixed attacker. Palafin is probably going to immediately switch out, though. So, let's go ahead and get the burn on Dragonite. It's likely going to try and... what does Dragonites do? Dragon Dance. Oh, Protect from Palafin. We're not going to see it switch. Okay. So we're going to get the burn on Dragonite. So, pretty easy. That's going to kind of shut it down if it's a physical attacker, which I kind of imagine it is. And we see an Earthquake. And this isn't going to do a whole lot of damage. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Alright. Good for us. Good for us. I'm going to try and burn the Palafin. If it doesn't switch out, it will just have to eat the burn. I kind of imagine it's going to switch out, though, and I'm kind of hoping that it switches out to Amoonguss, and Amoonguss eats that burn. So let's go ahead and go for a Rock Slide. Okay, Dragonite gets switched out because it was kind of shredded. And then we see the Amoonguss. So we get the free burn onto Palafin. That's great to shut it down. Palafin 0 to hero, or his hero form, rather, does kind of a disgusting amount of damage. Oh, wow. Even if its baby form did a really good amount of damage, and that was after it was burned. Wow, okay. So, super glad I burned that. I think I'm gonna take Arcanine and kind of use it to take out Amoonguss here. Or should I burn it? Amoonguss probably has an answer for burn. I'll scream if it has rest. But we're gonna burn it. I am gonna go ahead and I'm going to try and Fissure onto the Amoonguss. I don't think he's going to swap out for Dragonite, and he doesn't. So I'm going to go for the Fissure on Amoonguss. Worst case scenario is that it misses, and my Stomping Tantrum next turn is just going to do just a buttload of damage. Arcanine goes down. Saw that coming. So I'm hoping Fissure goes off, because that just saves me time. Does it? Does it? No. Okay. Amoonguss used Spore. I should have seen that coming, actually. Oh, well. Okay, Tinglu's taking a nap. That's okay. Everybody's burned. Tinglu can take some time to rest it off. Although I do think we should go into... Would King Gambit do enough damage? Yes, okay. I'm going to go into King Gambit. I am Terra flying on King Gambit, and I do have Terra Blast. So I think I'm going to Terra and Terra Blast right into Amoonguss's face and just murder it. So we are going to murder the mushroom. And I'm going to go for the Stomping Tantrum. I doubt that I'll get the Wake Up, but if I do, it'll do a considerable amount of damage to our dolphin friend. So let's see what he decides to do. He might actually just Rage Powder here, and if he does, that's totally fine. I'm pretty sure King Gambit is going to go... oh, okay. There we go. We see Palafin swap out. Next time we see that Palafin, it's going to be kind of a monster. Chin Pow. So there goes our defense. Again, totally okay. I almost am positive I'm going to outspeed the Among Us on King Gambit. I do like that King Gambit is kind of a more serious looking Pokemon, and he just has balloons for sticking out of his head. Alright, here comes the Terra Blast. And that should, yeah, just get wrecked. We'll probably see Palafin. And Tinglu's fast asleep. Although, downside to where I'm at in this fight, though, is that King Gambit does not have a speed boost. Which is not great. He has not Terra'd yet. So I imagine he's probably going to Terra Poison on Chen Pao. So I think what I want to do... I'm going to go Kowtow Cleave onto Chen Pao. Just anticipating that. And we are going to go... Actually, I don't want to go for a Rock Slide. I'm going to go for Fissure onto Chen Pao. Hoping I get the Wake Up. So we do see the Terra. Like I said, I'm predicting Terra... Oh, okay. Dragonite. What are we doing, Dragonite? Normal. So he wants to do some extreme speed stuff. Totally fine. Okay, we see an Ice Spinner. Wow, that did quite a bit of damage to Tinglu, and Tinglu is extremely defensive. Although we did get that defense drop from Knife Cat when it came out. Facade? It actually carried Facade? What is this, Gen 3? Seriously? Truly and honestly, I have not seen Facade work since Gen 3. And we get the Fissure off. Fissure is a one-hit KO. Get wrecked. Wow, he is carrying Facade. Are you kidding me? I wonder if he's holding a flame orb to guarantee the burn. Or was he just waiting? Is he just carrying Facade just wanting to be burned? Like, I don't get that at all. Wow. Okay. We are going to go for Dazzling Gleam. I want to get as much spread damage as humanly possible. Dragonite can still do a crap ton of damage with Facade. So, yeah, Rock Slide. We're going to do as much spread as possible. Facade is a normal type move that was introduced in Gen 3 that doubles in power when you're affected by a status condition. So like poison, paralysis, burn, that sort of thing. But it's not affected by the attack drop that burns do. So Facade, when you're burned, is extremely powerful. And like I said, he has to be holding a flame orb to guarantee his burn, or he is just baiting burns, or just waiting for somebody to bait burns. Because Facade is such a wasted slot if you're never burned or never poisoned. Yeah, well, we're kind of locked into the old Dazzling Gleam there. And there we go. We get it. We win. Cool. That was kind of a dirty win. He played extremely well. Like, dirty well. But we did get really super lucky, and we got one fissure off. And it was on Chen Pao, and Chen Pao is very much a target that you want removed as fast as possible. So I think we really just got lucky, and honestly, my God, Facade. He had Facade. Honestly, I haven't seen that in a competitive format, or even in just normal gameplay, since Generation 3 fighting Norman, the gym leader. Like, craziness. Why would you carry that move? It worked there. It really did. It worked beautifully, but it's such a niche, such a weird, specific move to use. Bonkers. Anyway. Alright. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do one more battle. I did start the stream kind of late, but I really didn't want to go past 10. And we're about 15 minutes away from 10 p.m. my time. So I think one more battle should be good. And then I got to get myself to bed. Oh, God. It's another Gallade. We were traumatized just a moment ago by a Gallade. Ah, Gallade, King Gambit, Iron Hands, Driftblim, Indeedee Female, and Sylveon. Sylveon's probably just going to do Hyper Voice and Quick Attack shenanigans with Pixelate. Indeedee does Indeedee things. Not sure what to expect from Driftblim other than Tailwind and maybe Explosion. Iron Hands does Iron Hand things. King Gambit can really do a whole lot of stuff. So again, not too sure what I should expect out of it. And I thought I knew Gallade. I thought I knew the strategy, but our recent trauma proved otherwise. So let's go ahead. I'm still going to lead with Arcanine, and I'm going to try and burn that thing as fast as humanly possible. Let's go out with Tinglu again. Fluttermane is also a good counter to Gallade and Iron Hands. But we also need a good counter to we're just going to go with the same format that we had last time. It's a bit more damage. Probably not going to Terra King Gambit this time around because we're not being threatened by a mushroom. But I did take immense satisfaction in going Terra Flying and just totally eating that thing with a Terra Blast. Alright, so we get the attack drop on Gallade. I don't think Sylveon can beat up, but it might. To get that justified bonus. I'm going to go ahead and Will-O-Wisp immediately into Gallade because I do not want that thing becoming a nightmare threat. And we are going to go ahead and Fissure. I'm going to Fissure into the Sylveon, expecting it to miss, and then I'll Stomping Tantrum into the Gallade next turn. If it doesn't miss, we end up just deleting Sylveon. So, good for me. Okay, do the Hyper Voice. Does a good amount of damage to Tinglu. Almost nothing to the Arcanine, though. So that's good to know. Alright. And Fissure does not go off. Although, with that special attack boost, Tinglu is very much in danger of becoming Sylveon food. Let's go ahead and go for the Snarl here just to drop Sylveon's special attack back down. Kind of put it in its place. I think, actually, we're going to Terra here just to get that resistance up. And we are going to Stomping Tantrum into the Sylveon. Now that we know that it's not a justified, beat-up, like, terrifying, trauma-inducing Gallade. So this Stomping Tantrum should hurt quite a bit. I am hoping that we live, though. Snarl goes off, kind of negating that Throat Spray special attack buff that it just got. And it being Poison type, it should resist. Oh, Gallade didn't even target me. Yep, Tinglu resists it beautifully. And it was a crit, and that did almost nothing for a crit. So, excellent. Oh, wow. That didn't KO, but that was a considerable amount of damage for absolutely no attack investment. Alright. We are going to Snarl again. Tinglu is probably going to take a Psychic attack, what is it? Psycho Cut straight to the face. So we're going to send out a Dark type to eat that up. I doubt he's going to try and punch me. And then Sylveon is probably just going to do Sylveon things and Hyper Voice again. So it gets another special attack drop. So it'll deal even less damage. Even though it would do neutral damage. Yeah, Psycho Cut. Yeah, I'm on to you, dude. I actually did a little bit more damage to Kingambit than I was actually expecting for a neutral hit. That's okay. Alright. I'm actually going to go for a Protect on Arcanine because I am expecting a Psycho Cut to come out. And we are going to go... let's go for a Kowtow Cleave onto our Gallade friend here. The reason why I'm going on to Gallade is because Gallade can murder me immediately. Oh my god. Okay. I should have switched back out. Oh well. We get a little bit more damage with that burn, I guess. And we'll just go out with Flutter Mane and just start Dazzling Gleam things. That was not really a smart move on my part. I really should have switched back out to Tinglu or to Flutter Mane. Flutter Mane would have been smarter, to be honest. Okay, let's just do another Snarl. Just more damage. And Dazzling Gleam. This should KO, to be honest. Yeah, okay. Sylveon does have a good amount of special defense bulk, but not a whole lot. And this Flutter Mane is just a murder machine, so I was on the fence, but leaning towards it was going to die, and it did. Alright, let's see what he's got. He's got 2 Pokemon down, 2 Pokemon in. Alright, we see an Iron Hands. We're going to outspeed Iron Hands, so we've got the advantage there. No problem. And a Kingambit. Nobody... Oh, okay. And it's Supreme Overlord. He gets an attack boost for every knocked out Pokemon, so 2. I am going to go ahead. I actually don't know who is the bigger threat here. I want to... Let's burn Iron Hands and just keep on dazzle gleaming. Okay, we see the Sucker Punch. You Sucker Punch the wrong person. Will-O-Wisp comes out and burns the Iron Hands. If he belly drums here, that would have been funny. Thunder Punch, okay. If you're below half health, you can't belly drum. So if he had belly drummed, that would have just been really funny, and that he would have just wasted his turn. And I'm actually going to go for the Will-O-Wisp onto the King Gambit just to keep it under control as well. He is likely going to just Sucker Punch Fluttermane, though, which is to be expected. Fluttermane is actually, you know what? I'm going to swap out. I'm going to do the smart thing. Ting Lu comes in. Ting Lu might die here, honestly. Alright. We see the Sucker Punch. It goes nowhere because we swapped. Will-O-Wisp comes out, just destroying both of their attack. So they are going to be dealing way less damage than they want to do. Arcanine does go down to a close combat, though. That's okay. That leaves our friend here very vulnerable, even though he's on death's door. He's already vulnerable. Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna take him down to like 2 HP. We're gonna go with Fluttermane. Fluttermane might actually eat a Sucker Punch here, but I'm hoping that the Sucker Punch does not KO. If it does, we might actually be in kind of a situation. I'm going to go for the immediate Stomping Tantrum. Who do I go into? Both of them kind of threaten Ting Lu. I'm going to go into King Gambit just because it's the healthiest. And Fluttermane does go down. That's really unfortunate. Do we have enough bulk to live? We are faster than the Iron Hands. Oh my god, we did not KO. But that'll be enough to kill Iron Hands. I wonder, if I use Ruination, does that proc... Does that allow for Sucker Punch to go off? I'm sure it does. Because all he has to do is Sucker Punch and he wins. I'm going to go for Ruination and see if it doesn't... Okay, he goes for Sucker... Okay, yeah. Although he is going to go down to Rocky Helmet. Actually, who wins here? I'm not sure. We both had the same number of Pokemon defeated. Who wins? Oh, him. Okay, fine. Whatever. I guess he wins for some reason. Alright. Well, this didn't really go as well as I had hoped. Like I said, I used to really enjoy my tanky, stally, kind of immovable teams. I did like the second team a bit more just because of its damage potential and its kind of flexibility and being able to swap in and out with different things. But I really didn't like the lack of damage. So I think for our next VGC stream on Friday, we might... Oh, excuse me. We might try a hyper offensive team. The shenanigans with Farigarath and Gallade was absolutely disgusting. And I might actually steal that team. So I'm gonna go over this video and see what he all brought to the table, and try and extrapolate like what his team would look like. I do wish that in Sun and Moon you were, or not Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, you were able to actually like see the other person's team if they consented to it. I've not seen that at all here, but oh well. I think we had a few good games. Some of those losses, though, were really defeating in that, we just couldn't do anything. We were just completely outclassed. But yeah, that Photograph Gallade team was something else. I'm still salty about it. But I had a good time. I think I am gonna make a team 3 for Friday. That'll be a little bit more hyper offensive, I think. I might actually do a trick room team. Maybe. I don't know. I have some ideas. They're still in the idea stage, so nothing real solid yet. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on Friday. Bye.